I'm here with Brianna Perry-Lang, your Senior Product Manager?
Product Marketing Manager.
Product Marketing Manager for Fleetio. And I'm excited to talk about this new integration with AI that's on everyone's lips. And of course, Fleetio has to get involved in AI and really make some tools for Fleetio users. But all right, for the uninitiated, there's a few of them. What is Fleetio?
Fleetio is a fleet maintenance management platform, and we help fleets for the whole life cycle to manage that. But our specialty is in maintenance. So we help fleets get an understanding of their maintenance, get more into that preventative so the downtime doesn't hurt them, and then help with replacement decisions, utilization, stuff like that.
Right, and what do you call the dashboard? What do you call the Fleetio dashboard that is interacted with by fleets?
I mean, when you log into Fleetio, this is the dashboard.
This is it. Okay,
yes,
we're looking at this.
This is the starting point.
And now we've got AI layered into this. Explain that for the group.
Well, there's a lot of AI right now, a lot of noise going on. Every conference, it seems to be AI.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do is take a step back and think a lot more intentionally about what is meaningful AI and how can we be using a tool to actually solve a problem. So not just doing something for AI's sake, but knowing that fleets are having problems with, at first it was digitization, but now it's an overwhelming amount of data and everyone's trying to solve that problem.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's, well, instead of putting that burden on humans, AI is very good at processing data very quickly and having context and understanding stuff. Let's do that. Let's actually help fleets solve for real world problems that they're having in the maintenance workflows.
Sure, okay, and what does that look like? How can we walk through how that?
Absolutely, I can.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go to service history here.
Okay.
And what you're seeing is a historical summary that you can also see in, so we have a maintenance shop network where fleets that are doing any sort of outsourced maintenance can, let me see if I can pull it up just as a little value add. So anyone who's doing outsourced maintenance, they can add themselves to the maintenance shop network, and then they can run all of their outsourced maintenance through that. So a driver takes the car to the shop once it's set up. The fleet doesn't have to do anything. So the driver just says, I'm with Fleetio, they get the service done, and then they go ahead and move on. But what we're doing now with Service Advisor is when you have an open service entry with us through that maintenance shop network, it's gonna look somewhat like this, but it's gonna have a bar across it that says needs to approve, and then approve or not approve. So it's an actionable thing where fleets can look at what the smart assessment is coming up with, and if it requires review or unacceptable, the fleet manager then has a ton more context. You can see here.
This looks like AI basically taking the data and says why this looks good.
It's looking at the asset history, the context of the service, any open issues. I mean, it's taking a ton of context into consideration, and then doing all of that mental labor that we're seeing fleet managers have to do for every single service, and being like, well, let's try and see if we can surface some of this for you. So again, anything that looks good, we've got a high level of confidence that you don't need to take a look at this. We're not seeing cost ballooning here. They didn't try to tack on, as an example, an extra windshield wiper, kind of replacement, nothing like that. What you want is being done. Let's go ahead and send that out.
So what we're looking at right here is different from the previous Fleetio system. This is the AI right here, essentially.
This is the AI,
the smart assessment.
Yes, our smart assessments. And this is the historical view. So once that service is done, you're also going to get, so if it's open, and let's say we change a couple of things, where it says requires a review, and it says the cost of this oil change is 20% higher than it usually is. So the fleet manager then is like, hey, what's going on with this? And let's say there's a change in what happens during that service with the cost. You're going to see that in the historical summary. So it's going to then, once the service is closed, take into account, oh, we changed a couple of things, here's what happened. So that way you have a really good look, and I'll pull up. This requires review. So this service happened. But we did say, hey, this service happened, but for next time, let's take a look at why this happened. And so here you're seeing that elevated pricing call out.
Elevated pricing, 77% higher than services from the past 12 months. Okay, right.
So now you know Next time we go to this vendor, maybe we need to have a conversation. Maybe we need to be a little bit, kind of cognizant of what's going on with those service aspects specifically.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So that is our smart assessments, and then we have one more feature that Service Advisor is helping out with. And this is going to be our issue prioritization. So if you can tell all these little stars right here, this is our AI assigning a priority to the issues automatically.
Okay.
So you can choose. We also wanted to give a strong path of customizability to what you have here. So you can choose to either have our AI merely suggest a priority, so it keeps a human in the loop. Human can decide whether or not they want to accept that or not, or you can have the AI auto-assign. But for those fleets who've been using this, issues assigned by our AI were left unchanged 96% of the time.
Wow, okay.
So
all right.
high confidence that,
that
we're able to.
And I'll tell you what, I want to wrap it up by reconstituting what was said at the beginning of our press conference here about fleets and how they are still trying to get there, right, with AI, that frustration that we're going to try to solve here. Can you go over that once more?
Yeah, I can. Talking to fleet managers, it's about surfacing context, making sure we're not going to build anything that's going to be making decisions without context. We know fleet managers want to know. They're always asking questions of, well, how did this happen? Why did this happen? So we're building intentional AI that does that. We're also helping to reduce noise. Our fleet benchmarking report that we recently released, top concerns, rising costs, but also being asked to do more with less. It's happening every year and it's getting worse and worse. How can we then step in and say, it shouldn't be on you to have to do small things like this. Fleet managers need to be spending more time in that optimization side, understanding what's going on with my safety. How can I make people on the road safer? How can I make sure that my cars don't break down? And then how can I make sure that I'm making the right decisions for my business? Because everyone's trying to grow. And they're trying to do more with less. And so that's how we're trying to step in and help really take a look at those problems and say, from the software perspective, what can we take over that's the monotonous stuff? Say, stop getting the calls, stop getting the text messages, or I'll be in a call with a customer. They'll get interrupted 3 to 4 times in a 30-minute time span.
I would imagine so.
How can we be using what we have here to make that day a little bit simpler so they can get back to the strategy side of running the fleet?
The strategy side of running things. I love the way you put that. Well, Brianna, thank you so much.